Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. The new Kia Seltos, Century Ply and Epson Eco Tank Printers. Co-powered by Sera.
Good evening and welcome. Why am I leading with the hashtag tomato conspiracy tonight? Well, not because I'm being frivolous, not because I don't want to discuss other issues, not because I don't want to discuss Chandrayaan, not because I don't want to discuss the Uniform Civil Code. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm discussing the tomato conspiracy because there is one. And no, I'm not trying to save the BJP on this. Absolutely not. In fact, I have many more questions to the BJP than to the opposition on this. But whichever way, none of us can disagree that there is a tomato conspiracy. Am I overreacting? I don't think so. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the price of 1 kilo of tomatoes in India today is more than the price of 1 gram of silver. You can buy silver, but you won't be able to afford tomatoes. Do I need to say more? Well, the shares of Nykaa, Zomato, Tata Steel and Bank of Baroda are less than the price of 1 kilo of tomatoes. Am I still overreacting? Ladies and gentlemen, the price of tomatoes per kilogram is 1.5 times the price of petrol per litre. Am I still overreacting? You can buy a ticket from Delhi to Jaipur at less than the cost of 7 kilograms of tomatoes. Am I still overreacting? Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps those who don't feel the pinch will say, Arnab, you're wasting your time with a 1-hour debate on this. But ask this for someone who gets a minimum wage as an unskilled laborer today. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 kilogram of tomatoes, just 1 kilogram of tomatoes is 40 to 50% his daily wage. That's not feeling the pinch. That is absolutely insensitive. Ladies and gentlemen, your average most basic data plan, which will offer you unlimited calls and 1 GB internet per day for 24 days, is cheaper than the price of 1 kilogram of tomatoes. The situation is so bad. I'm told there are cars carrying over 250 kilogram of tomato trays which are being hijacked. I'm told that popular restaurant chains like McDonald's are no longer serving tomatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, somebody got arrested for doing a stunt where he hired bouncers to protect the tomatoes in his store. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a reality. And you know what the reality is about? The reality is over the fact that we have every kind of highfalutin debates on every subject. But we often don't debate the subject that affects the most number of people. But no, ladies and gentlemen, not Republic. Republic believes there is a tomato conspiracy and we are putting it out there for you to participate in, which is why after 9-10 p.m. tonight, I'm going to open the phone lines. The prices have skyrocketed. Earlier, governments used to fall over onion prices. And my question to the BJP is this. Does the BJP remember that one of the reasons it came to power was skyrocketing consumer and retail inflation? And does the BJP really believe today that with the prices which are going around in the vegetable shops of this country, that the retail and consumer price index is reflecting carefully? I really think the economists and the macroeconomics and the economic advisors of the government of India should consider what is going on in the open market and then ask themselves whether they really believe that food inflation is in single digits. It's not. Beetroot, 50% more in 1 month. Ginger, 38% more in 1 month. Garlic, 70 to 80% more in 1 month. And ladies and gentlemen, green chili has gone up by 23% in a month. I don't believe the consumer price index anymore, and we demand a nationwide debate on the subject. I demand your participation in the hashtag tomato conspiracy. I demand public pressure to bring the prices down. I demand the hoarders be caught. I demand accountability by the state and central governments. That is debate number 1 tonight, viewers. The tomato conspiracy. It's gone through the roof, and we can't take it lying down anymore. And debate number 2 this evening, endless violence. Mamata Banerjee should be ashamed of herself. My hashtag for tonight is victory through violence. Victory by violence. Hashtag big victory by violence. They are celebrating the bloodshed. Shame on all of them. That's debate number 2. And here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on the debate tonight. Tomatoes go missing. Prices cross 200 rupees per kilo. It's madness. Is it the rains to blame or hoarders, or is there a bigger conspiracy behind the soaring prices? TMC leads in the local elections, but a deeper look into the numbers shows a dent for TMC.
जिस प्रकार की हिंसा हो रही है वो अपने आप में अप्रत्याशित है। यही दृश्य कोई भाजपा शासित राज्य से आ रहा होता तो हाहाकार मच गया। ये सारे नेता महागठबंधन का दृश्य दिखाते हैं। कहां हैं वे सारे नेता?
From polling day to counting day, the violence doesn't end in Bengal, but the placard gang is completely missing. Furor over the brutal murder of a Jain monk in Karnataka. The BJP demands a CBI probe. Will stage a big protest tomorrow. And countdown begins for the launch of Chandrayaan 3. Republic keeps you way ahead on the coverage. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I've said almost all in my introduction, and all I say is this: when tomato prices go up by 400%, when beetroot prices go up by 50%, when green chili prices go up by 25%, ladies and gentlemen, when garlic goes up by 40 to 50%, and when we are told inflation, don't worry, is under control, everything's fine, we say we don't believe you. Let's debate.
310, 350, 370, 370, 400.
Till last month, the humble tomato was a culinary staple in all Indian households. Today, it might as well be deemed a luxury good. Prices have increased by over 400% across regions, whether it's BJP-ruled Maharashtra or Congress-ruled Rajasthan or the DMK-ruled Tamil Nadu.
क्या दाम है अभी यहाँ पर तकरीबन जो बात की जाए?
अभी 150 रुपये केजी है जहाँ पे।
तो ये जब यहाँ से दुकान पे जाता है तो आम लोगों तक कितने में पहुँचेगा?
अभी 200 में पहुँचेगा।
तो लोग आपसे भी लेने आते होंगे?
हाँ लेने तो है।
तंग हैं लोग?
हाँ तंग है बहुत। क्या कहते हैं बहुत महंगी है।
ये मिडिल क्लास लोगों के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा वो उस प्रेशर आ रहा है, बजट पूरा हिल रहा है, क्योंकि बेसिक नीड है वो लगता ही है। मतलब सुबह शाम दोनों टाइम पे हम लोग जो भी नॉर्मल वेजिटेबल्स बनाता है कोई भी, तो उसमें ये टोमेटोज लगता ही है। मतलब
आपको क्या लगता है अभी कम हो गया कि नहीं?
अभी थोड़ा कम लग रहा है, क्योंकि कल एक बॉक्स का 2500 रुपये था, आज इसमें 200 रुपये कम लगा है। तो क्योंकि बारिश में उधर सामान बहुत कम है, इधर इसलिए आने का थोड़ा खर्चा है, इसलिए ज़्यादा है। अभी सामान थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया, अभी कल से कम हो जाएगा।
ವ್ಯವಸಾಯಿಗೆ ಎದುಮೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೋರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಇದಿಲ್ಲ. ವ್ಯವಸಾಯಿಗೆ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಡಿಜಿನ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗೆ 100 ரூபா வாங்குறாங்க. இதுக்கு ஒன்று டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் அது இதெல்லாம் அதிகமானால, பெட்ரோல் விலைவாசி அதிகமான எல்லாருமே இந்த மாதிரி ரேட்டா ஏற்றி விற்கிறாங்க.
The middle class is feeling the pinch across the nation, from Jammu to Maharashtra to Kerala to Tamil Nadu. Popular restaurant chains are eliminating tomatoes from their burgers.
टेस्ट में तो फ़र्क पड़ेगा इस चीज़ से, ये तो है कि हाँ अगर इन्होंने बंद कर दिया है तो मे बी कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो स्पेशली अपने बर्गर्स में डलवाते हैं टमेटोज़ का यूज़ होना चाहिए, तो टेस्ट का तो मैं बोलूँगी कि फ़र्क पड़ेगा इस चीज़ से।
In Bengaluru, a van carrying tomatoes worth 3 lakh rupees was hijacked.
90 boxes worth tomatoes, which will be costing around 2.7 lakhs with the current market price. has been stolen from her farm. Accordingly, the police have registered a theft complaint and we are investigating into the matter. The accused will be apprehended shortly.
These bouncers in Uttar Pradesh are not protecting gold. They're guarding a tomato cart as part of a protest by a Samajwadi Party worker. The centre says unseasonal rain has triggered a hike which will normalize soon.
और हम सब जानते हैं कि बारिश अनसीजनल बारिश हुई है, उसके कारण कीमतें बढ़ी हैं और थोड़े दिनों में जैसे हिमाचल से टमाटर आना शुरू होगा, कुछ इलाके हैं कर्नाटक के वहां से आएगा तो वो फिर एक बार सही दामों पे आ जाएगा.
The opposition claims the centre has failed, but won't talk about the crop virus in Karnataka that has triggered the spike or the fact that state governments can intervene. Are some trying to spin a tomato conspiracy ahead of the elections? Let's debate.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. गौरव क्या पकड़ के रखा है? अनुराग भटौरिया आप रख दी, क्या है वो? ये अटेंशन ग्रैबिंग टैक्टिक, हाथ में हरी मिर्च टमाटर, क्या क्या कहना चाहते हैं? बोल दीजिए. यू कैन स्टार्ट द डिबेट. बोलिए.
नहीं, मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता बताएं कि अभी इसका क्या भाव है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता बताएं मिर्च क्या भाव मिल रहा है, ये धनिया के पत्ते क्या भाव हैं, क्योंकि उनका अटेंशन इस पे आना चाहिए, जिस पे नहीं आ रहा है. दिक्कत ये है, अभी देखना जब जवाब देंगे तो बताएंगे 2014 के पहले की बात करेंगे, लेकिन इनसे पूछा जाएगा टमाटर इतना महंगा क्यों है, क्योंकि आम जनता का सवाल है. ये मेरा सवाल नहीं है कि मिर्च क्यों महंगी है, अदरक क्यों महंगी है, सरसों का तेल क्यों महंगा है, दाल क्यों महंगी है, आटा क्यों महंगा है, आलू तक महंगा हो गया है, सारी सब्जियां महंगी हैं. जिसकी आप बात करते थे सब डीजल पेट्रोल के साथ कंपटीशन टमाटर का चल रहा है. कौन आगे निकलेगा? टमाटर ने बाजी मार दी, टमाटर आगे निकल गया. तो ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जवाब देना पड़ेगा कि टमाटर की प्राइस आगे क्यों निकल जा रही. बहानाबाजी नहीं चलेगी कि भाई इसमें इनको बताना पड़ेगा कि भाई किसान को दाम नहीं मिल रहा है, किसान को टमाटर कई बार रोडों पे फेंकना पड़ता है, किसान को प्राइस नहीं मिल रही है, तो फिर मार्केट में इतना महंगा क्यों टमाटर बिक रहा है. तो कौन बीच में बिचौलिए कौन है जो ये टमाटर की प्राइस को रेगुलेट कर रहे हैं? कौन है ये लोग? कहां से हैं? क्या सरकार की जिम्मेदारी नहीं इसके बारे में बताने के लिए? क्या सरकार सिर्फ जिम्मेदारी से भागती रहेगी? वही मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि इनका अटेंशन इस पे रहना चाहिए. और मैं आपको भी बधाई देता हूं कि आपने कम से कम इस पे डिबेट तो रखी है, नहीं तो डिबेट तो पश्चिम बंगाल के नीचे नहीं उतर रही है. मणिपुर चलिए, मणिपुर पे नहीं होगी, पश्चिम बंगाल पे होगी, टमाटर पे नहीं होगी. इसलिए अर्नब, हो सकता है कि आपको घर में इस तरह की टमाटर नहीं मिला हो और आपको घर में इस बात की डांट पड़ी हो कि नहीं भाई आप टमाटर पे डिबेट करिए, घर में टमाटर बहुत महंगा हो गया, इसलिए शायद आपको याद आ गया होगा. इसलिए आपको मैं बधाई देता हूं कि कम से कम घर में ही डांट पड़ी हो. शायद, मैं कोई ऐसा नहीं कह रहा हूं, शायद आपको एहसास हुआ हो कि घर में आपको टमाटर ना मिला हो और आपको याद आया नहीं टमाटर तो एक मुद्दा है, इस पे आप डिबेट कर रहे हैं, इसलिए आप बधाई हैं. मैं आपको वाकई बधाई देता हूं, पूरी उत्तर प्रदेश, पूरी देश की जनता की तरफ से आपको बधाई देता हूं. कम से कम आपका ध्यान टमाटर पे आया, लेकिन सरकार का ध्यान अभी तक नहीं आया, बीजेपी का ध्यान अभी तक नहीं आया. अभी देखिए,
अनुराग, एक और सवाल है आपसे जी, एक और सवाल है आपसे. आप मुझे जरा बताइए अदरक के दाम कितने हैं? कितने में खरीद रहे हैं लखनऊ के मार्केट में अदरक?
अदरक भी पार कर गया.
कितना नंबर बताइए, कितने पे है किलो
अदरक? लखनऊ के मार्केट में अदरक मिल रही है, सुन तो लीजिए, 40 रुपए पाव. सोचो आप,
40 रुपए पाव.
लगा लीजिए क्या भाव है.
40 रुपए पाव
माने
आप सोच समझ के बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ, 250 ग्राम
40 रुपए, 160 रुपए किलो.
हो सकता है कि मुझे ना पता हो, ये भी हो सकता है कि
यही मैं कह रहा हूं कि आप थैंक यू वेरी मच. मैं वही कह रहा हूं, ये सवाल जब मैंने पूछा आपको कहना चाहिए था कि अदरक 75 रुपए में मिल रही है, क्योंकि आप मार्केट जाते ही नहीं है. आप जैसे लोग मार्केट नहीं जाते, ड्रामा करते हैं प्रोग्राम पर.
अच्छा चलिए, आपकी बात
आपको कैसे नहीं पता? आप अपने आप को आम आदमी कहते हैं, आपको पता नहीं, यू हैव नो आइडिया व्हाट द कॉस्ट ऑफ अदरक इज.
अरे मैं बता
आपको पता नहीं आप किस तरह के आम आदमी हैं?
प्रभु मेरी बात सुनिए.
नहीं, प्रभु अबू बोल के फायदा नहीं होगा. अभी गौरव भाटिया, टेल मी, गौरव भाटिया, you tell me one question. My question here is, and I'm opening this up right now. Gaurav Bhatia, I have a problem, and my problem is you have forgotten everything. You have forgotten how you came to power. It is important to remind you. May I please have the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress on the right, along with Gaurav Bhatia on the left. And the question is, Gaurav, you have forgotten how you came to power. Let me remind you. Let me remind you, Gaurav. You said, when we come to power, the first thing we will do is bring price rise under control. You also said, Gaurav Bhatia, when the common man cannot eat, then what is the point of anybody being in power? You asked for the resignation of Congress governments in the past for not being able to manage prices for 15 to 20 days, and now you say, choti moti, thode dino ke liye. And Gaurav, let me also tell you, पहले जब प्रोटेस्ट होते थे, तब आप, यानी कि आपके पार्टी के नेता, अदरक, बैंगन, टमाटर, आलू के माला बनाते थे. You used to make garlands. You remember that? You used to make garlands of brinjals, chilies, and walk and protest with that. Gaurav Bhatia, the nation wants to know, आप आज अदरक, बैंगन वगैरह वगैरह के माला पहन के प्रोटेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? Please tell me, why have you become indifferent, Gaurav Bhatia? You do 5 press conferences a day, Gaurav Bhatia, on Aam Aadmi Party and Liquorgate, but you don't do one on prices. Why, Gaurav? It doesn't matter to you. You used to do Bharat Bandh then. आपने भारत बंद कर दी थी. नितिन गडकरी आपके प्रेसिडेंट थे, उन्होंने बोला बंद कर दो भारत को 2012 में. लेट देयर बी अ भारत बंद ओवर इन्फ्लेशन. आज भारत बंद क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, गौरव भाटिया? Will it happen when tomatoes cross 300 rupees a kilo? The nation wants to know from you, Gaurav. And you know, I don't think you're prepared.
Okay. So now allow me
आपने
to
कहा
respond.
था इस कांग्रेस के शासन में, आपने कहा था इस कांग्रेस के शासन में कुछ नहीं मिलता राशन में. This was the slogan. कांग्रेस के शासन में कुछ नहीं मिला राशन में. अनुराग जी, टमाटर को नीचे रखिए प्लीज एंड कंटिन्यू ऑन द डिबेट. गौरव भाटिया, अनुराग जी आप टमाटर को नीचे रख सकते हैं. थैंक यू. इज नॉट पुटिंग इट डाउन. रख दीजिए.
बस टमाटर का रेट पूछ के बता दीजिए.
आपने मुझसे कहा कि अब आप क्यों नहीं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं?
मैं रख दूंगा.
मैं आपको
टमाटर का रेट
कर दूं.
पूछ के बता दीजिए. बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता टमाटर का रेट बता दे, मैं रख दूंगा.
अर्नब जी, इनको शांत कराइए.
अर्नब,
इनके लिए ही पहले अर्ज कर देता हूं.
बता दे, मैं रख दूंगा.
मैं अखिलेश यादव का तोता हूं, हाथ में टमाटर रख के सोता हूं. मैं अखिलेश यादव का तोता हूं,
नहीं बताता हूं,
हाथ में टमाटर रख के सोता हूं. ज्ञान इनको कुछ नहीं है,
लेकिन टमाटर का रेट नहीं बताता हूँ, मिर्ची का रेट नहीं बताता हूँ.
अच्छा, आप ये बताओ सीपीआई क्या होता है? चलिए बताइए, सीपीआई क्या होता है? पहले आप बताइए.
बताओ, वो बताओ, छोड़ो टमाटर बताओ, आम जनता की बात बताओ. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. मुझे सिर्फ इतना आता है कि टमाटर का भाव क्या है. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. आप टमाटर का भाव बताओ क्या है. आप बताओ टमाटर का भाव क्या है.
करप्शन, पी से परिवारवाद,
क्या भाव है आप बता दो. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. मैं तो एकदम लेमैन हूँ, गांव का हूँ, मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. लेकिन मैं जानता हूँ 500 रुपए लेके अगर मैं बाजार जाऊंगा तो
गौरव भाटिया is answering the question right now. मेरा सवाल गौरव भाटिया से था. My question was to Gaurav. He's answering now. Please, thank you, Gaurav, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Arnab. I would like to respond by saying, आपने कहा कि क्यों नहीं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है, तो हमारा भी एक प्रण है. हम देते नहीं है भाषण, जनता को मिलेगा सस्ता राशन. And how do I say that? You remember the UPA time, riddled with corruption, but at the same time, inflation during the 10 years of UPA misrule was at 10% on an average. During the NDA rule in the last 9 years, the average inflation has been around 4%. Just a few months back, it went up to 5.5–6%, brought down again to 4%.
I don't believe that number.
Second,
no. I
yes,
don't know who
it is our
calculates
responsibility also to collaborate with the state governments.
That during UPA time period, it was wholesale price
this is not the way. You know, if there are ill-mannered panelists on the panel tonight, they need to shut up and listen. Who are you, Mr. Lokesh Jindal, to interrupt?
Is erroneous.
No, can he be quiet?
Okay, Lokesh, let him complete. Lokesh, let him complete.
Once my response is over, he can come in.
To 2 versus 2. 1 minute. Lokesh, let him complete.
No, I don't want to tell you anything.
Let him complete.
I don't want to tell you anything because you do not have the manners. If you would have waited for your turn, I would have answered your question. But no, since you are ill-mannered, I don't want to answer. So please be civilized. Ask me question. Once I'm
Why
done,
are
you
you
ask
putting
me
wrong
any
data?
question you want. Arnab, the second
Why are you
point
putting
which
a
we
wrong
need to
data?
understand. This is the data. Please be quiet. Let the viewers decide. Don't be a saint. Be quiet. So I am giving you the tomato prices and the onion prices in the Congress ruled state.
आप भी तमीज रखें.
अर्नब जी मैं ऐसे चर्चा नहीं कर पाऊंगा आप चलवाना चाहते हैं आप चलवाइए
Lokesh,
या तो
since
उनका
I'm
फेडर
opening the
नीचे
phone
कर
lines
दीजिए.
today, I have limited
Please,
time.
this is
Can
not
we
the way
please
to debate.
not interrupt? Now I'm looking at this very seriously. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Arnab, any person is free to ask me the questions they have, but they should have the courtesy to first hear me out and then frame your questions. रटे रटाए कांग्रेस हेडक्वार्टर के क्वेश्चन मत पूछिए. Now this is the data I am giving you. We talk about tomatoes and onions. We need to understand that tomatoes are seasonal and temporary, and we need to also understand it's a phenomena which is temporary. Why do I say that? I say that because there is no structural problem. The real reason is that this is a winter and a spring crop, and during summers the prices of tomato go up. But the state government, just like the central government, also have enough powers under the Act, Essential Commodities Act, to regulate. Now, what are the prices in the BJP ruled state? In Gujarat, tomatoes are available at 75 rupees. In Madhya Pradesh at 90. Congress ruled state Rajasthan at 100 and Chhattisgarh 115. Now, will I not ask that why are the Congress state governments sleeping and they're not taking strict action against holders? They should also collaborate and work with the central government. Second, this fact is important. Now, on rice, what has been the average increase? During the 5 years of the UPA, 64%. During the NDA government, 39.29. Onions, 323%. During the UPA regime from 2009 to 2013. During our regime, the onion prices in the last 10 years have gone down by 37%. Tomatoes, 159% increase during the 4-5 years of the UPA government. During our tenure, the increase is more, but less than the UPA increase. But we are still trying to regulate. And last,
Are you trying to regulate?
My last point is this. Arnab,
Are you trying to regulate? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No.
I have certain
Lokesh, 1 minute. Lokesh, Gaurav, that's a long. Gaurav, that's a long answer. That's a long answer.
Is this government not sensitive?
No, I think
we will talk about solutions.
No, you are not talking about taking the solution on yourself. I have a Gaurav. The common man did not cause tomato price rise increase. The increase has been caused because of deceptive governments at the center and the state. Now, my point is, Gaurav, and please let me complete. You need to start taking some criticism in your stride. On July 1st, Siddharth, the center launched a Tomato Grand Challenge Hackathon, urging the public to propose creative solutions to combat escalating tomato prices. My question is, Bejonda, please tell me, has the government outsourced the job of price management to the people? Is this a subject for a hackathon?
That's right, because they failed.
Because they failed?
Arnab, they have failed miserably. They don't want to accept the fact that they have actually goofed up the work which they were responsible to do. And we as consumers, when we try to reach out to them, they don't have time to meet us. They don't want to face us. You won't believe it.
Supply chains
I'm not able to meet the officials.
1 minute. Lokesh, I want to hear Bejon.
You see, Arnab, all your viewers should know that we as consumers are unable to get appointments to meet these officials to understand what do they mean with these kind of a contests. Have they failed? They're competent officials who are being paid fat salaries, amenities
what is the
as
idea
experts.
of a hackathon?
Where are they today? Why couldn't they predict?
What is the idea? It's farcical.
It is a shame.
Farcical.
It's a shame on them.
Let me tell you one more thing. I must say this clearly. Gaurav, hear me loud and clear, and I'll bring Siddharth on this. I'll bring PK on this. I don't believe the numbers that are doing the rounds as India's consumer price index. All these numbers are obviously fake. The Reserve Bank of India is setting a target of 5.2%. Now, my question is, PK, what items are calculated while deciding the consumer price index? I think they must be calculating everything except food, because the cost of food has gone up. And if while calculating the consumer price index, you are only looking at toothpaste and not green chili, you are looking at soap but not garlic, if you are looking at garments but not ginger, right? And if you are going to look at hair oil but not beetroot, then you have a wrong consumer price index. I am actually openly questioning, PK, the basis of choosing the items on the basis of which consumer price index is not a, I think it's not something which magically appears. Consumer price index comes out of some bureaucrat going out there and calculating the price of things. I think whoever has calculated the consumer price index never goes to the vegetable market.
There is a weighted average.
No, don't tell me weighted average. They don't go to the vegetable market. Professor Basu.
No, Arnab, that's not correct. I think that's
first of all, you have to understand.
Maybe Arnab doesn't go to the market
there is a fixed weight for every item, and we are looking at the entire basket of things that people consume, not just food. Food in the CPI basket in India has a weight of over 50%, and so it is a very important part. Now, there is a fact that there is seasonality in vegetable and fruit prices. The RBI, in its last couple of statements, has pointed out that vegetable prices were down year on year until 2 or 3 months ago, and they were bound to pick up. They were bound to pick up because there is a seasonal factor here, and there's been a big spurt. There's no doubt that there's been a big spurt in prices in the past month, and it will be reflected in the next CPI. The next CPI will show a big pickup in fruit and vegetable prices, which would have pushed the entire CPI index up to about 4.6.
PK. So there's been a moderation in most other prices. Question to you, PK.
But vegetable and fruit
question to you, PK. 1 minute, Lokesh, will you not?
There's a seasonal pickup.
My question is, PK, here's a question. Viewers, you tell me how you think about it. Here is how I think about it. PK is the macroeconomic expert. My feeling is, viewers, if there was an election, national election tomorrow, the prices would not be so high. Am I right, Siddharth, Gaurav? If there was an election in 2 weeks, prices would not be high. The problem is, Gaurav, you guys think anything can happen over 4 years, and towards the end of it, you'll fix it. And we'll forget.
Why, Arnab? Why do you say that?
I say that because if there was an election tomorrow, this would not be the case.
If
there was an election tomorrow, this would not be the case. That's why I say it.
Soaring at 5.56%. Please hear me out. Be patient. Extend me the same courtesy. I heard you and answer your questions. I want to ask you, 2 months back, inflation was at around 5.56%. Was it not controlled within a month or two? Was it not brought down to 4%? And is the government insensitive? You remember the UPA time when Manmohan Singh ji said, पैसे पेड़ों पे नहीं लगते. रेणुका चौधरी ने कहा, अरे सिलेंडर 1200 रुपए का है तो क्या 1200 का सिलेंडर नहीं ले सकते हो? That was January of 2014. So this
but that's why Renuka Chaudhary is no longer a minister.
They are taking action. This is a seasonal, temporary phenomena which will be taken care of. So Arnab, we also need to be realistic. If it is a seasonal vegetable, and then there are certain
all vegetables are seasonal in some way.
Constraints and ensure.
No. Are you saying that except potatoes, we should not complain about vegetable prices? All okay. Reveller, hands are going up, calls are coming in. Hands are going up, calls are coming in. Reveller is in the debate. Reveller Shita Reddy first.
Chini, doodh. What do you want? Actually, I will become a vegetable.
I want tomatoes.
I will give you the.
I want tomatoes.
During our regime.
Give me tomatoes. No. Don't give me cheese. I want tomatoes. You give me tomatoes.
Only.
Give me tomatoes. Give me.
Okay.
Silly. I get Reveller Shita Reddy on the debate. A lot of people calling actually. Reveller Shita Reddy, I'm allowing him. Volume up. Yes.
Arnab, when they were in opposition, it was
when
a
they were in
responsibility of the
opposition,
Union
continue.
government and respective
Remind
governments.
Gaurav what he did when he was in the opposition.
Arnab, please. Gaurav ji, आपने बहुत बताया था. You have to wait. Listen, please. Listen.
Listen to Reveller Shita Reddy.
We have heard your statistics. Now, please listen. When you were opposition, you wanted the Union government to take the responsibility of the onion prices. now you are, talking about the statistics. What worries us most is, at one end, the rising prices of onions, tomatoes, whatever. Other way, the attitude of your ministers. When we question about the, rising prices, your Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says, act of God. When we question about onions, your Nirmala Sitharaman says that I don't use onions. Now you say, I will not use tomatoes. We use tomatoes. Please take responsibility of it. Now, Piyush Goyal ji बता रहे थे, अभी unseasonal है, 2-3 महीने में, correct हो जाएगा. उसके लिए Union Minister की थोड़ी जरूरत है. We don't need a Union Minister to talk so casually. Take control of the situation. There is a prices difference, in Hyderabad 120, Chennai 130, somewhere 170. Instead of, rather making the opposition parties and non-BJP ruled states responsible, take control of the situation. Whatever CPI, WPI, ये सब हमको समझ में नहीं आता.
Question, my friend.
No, the common man want.
No, Siddharth is also. Siddharth is opening his innings. Rajat hasn't spoken yet. Siddharth.
Tell us 3 measures that you have taken.
Siddharth.
Yeah.
Tell me 3 measures that you have taken to control
I can come in once others give me a chance. I think Arnab, I will come in once others give me a chance too.
That way you'll never get a chance. Go in on your own, Siddharth. I've taken your name. Siddharth and Rajat are on the debate, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I'll go in. Okay, fine, I'll go. Okay, fine, I'll go on my own. Arnab, I'd like to suggest a small tweak to today's hashtag. Rather than tomato conspiracy, it should be tomato incompetency. Why? I'll tell you why. The BJP spokesperson was speaking eloquent just now about how the price rise of India has essentially come down. So he is essentially saying that Vikas has caught up now with tomato. That is good to hear. But the simple point is here that when he is speaking about the vagaries of weather, he is essentially saying like a class teacher does not have the liberty to say that what can I do? The kids in my class are not listening to me. He is supposed to, his simple job is to make sure that the class and the kids listen to him. And it is in a way,
should steer away from political fulfillment.
The incompetency of Modi Sarkar. Now having said that, solution to these kind of issues, we know whenever inflation happens,
let him complete.
Inflation happens.
Let him complete. The debate is on.
Arnab, I am coming to the serious part now. Everyone knows that when food price inflation happens, food prices are directly related to transportation. Today in India, the central government is taking 20% more of diesel tax than a state government. The central government today, out of the 90 odd rupees diesel that is being charged, 16 rupees is going.
The problem is that you need to look at economics away from your political rhetoric.
So a constructive suggestion from Aam Aadmi Party is, can the BJP government reduce its diesel tax to around 20% till the time that the tomato crisis is over? Point number 2, the other way around. I'll give you another example. BJP today prides itself in bringing in laws and tightening screws of everything and everyone. So just like they bring in an ordinance and make the Delhi government subservient, why doesn't the BJP bring in an ordinance to say that tomato cannot be charged at more than 15 rupees a kilo? For 15 days the BJP can bring an ordinance. The point here is that the BJP, after BJP, there is a saying, जब BJP आती है, महंगाई को बढ़ाती है. The crony capitalism of BJP, this is a naked display of crony capitalism of BJP. Right now, the simple reason why the food prices are going up.
No, 1 minute. At the same time, yes, Rajat.
Arnab, see, there are going to be political bickering, and I don't want to get into that. There are some serious aspects to what needs to be done from the political economy standpoint. You are absolutely right. Rude data numbers, if you throw at the common people is going to retaliate. And this is what happened in Karnataka. Though the CPI numbers were low, still the mehengai became an important rhetoric in even in Karnataka elections. So BJP has to be wary of that. Today, if the price has gone up, temporarily the CPI will get affected. The inflation numbers will go up. It might be, it might cool down eventually. But look at the overall narrative that surrounds the price rise. It is going to haunt the BJP in the near future as well. Therefore, the BJP has to be smart about it and come out with some kind of a methodology which could be price stabilization fund or something like that at the state level. Keep this in mind that this subject remains a state subject. Center can't do much about it. It is the state governments who have to come up with these stabilization methodologies and mechanisms. Tamil Nadu has done that. Kerala government has done that. It is the other states which have to follow up. It is much, much beyond the political narrative. Otherwise, these diesel kind of policies will come in which have no basis whatsoever. The problem with tomato was that it was infected by fungus this time. There were unseasonal rains in the month of March. Lot of farmers were screeching because back then the tomato was 2 rupees kg. It was being thrown on the roads. Nobody paid attention to it. This is the reason why Bhadoria ji, who used to stroll around in Ghazipur area when the farm bill had come, he should have been the first one to educate those farmers that you require market-based interventions to come in and ease out the prices over the year. Farm bill was meant for that purpose. But Bhadoria ji was doing politicking on the streets of Ghazipur, and therefore he don't have an answer today. The biggest reform agricultural markets could have foreseen had been stalled because of political reasons. This was the reason, and partly Bhadoria ji is responsible for it. He should answer. He should answer.
कमाल की बात कर रहे हैं आप
नहीं होना चाहिए था सर वापस आप भी इंटेलेक्चुअली बात करोगे ना तो आप खुद रियलाइज करोगे
दूध क्यों महंगा हो गया
वो बिल वापस नहीं होना चाहिए था
60 रुपए लीटर कैसे हो गया दूध कैसे महंगा हो गया आटा कैसे महंगा हो गया दाल कैसे महंगी हो गई
सर दूध की इन्फ्लेशन
आप कह रहे हो कि बारिश सारी चीजें महंगी क्या रेट हुआ दूध भी बारिश से महंगा हो गया
क्या भदौरिया जी आप बात करते हैं
आलू भी
एग्रीकल्चरल मार्केट्स की बात हो रही है जिंजर की बात मणिपुर में सबसे ज्यादा जिंजर ग्रो होता है जिंजर को इंपैक्ट होना स्वाभाविक है
जीएसटी लगा दिए रेस्टोरेंट के बिल महंगे हो गए स्कूल की फीस महंगी हो गई बिजली का बिल
बात कहां करते हैं कोई सर पर तो रखिए ना आर्गुमेंट्स का कोई तो आर्गुमेंट्स का लॉजिकल फ्लो होना चाहिए भदौरिया जी मैं सिंपल बोल रहा हूं वाह बिल जो चीज अचीव कर सकती है
बारिश से महंगा होगी पहली बार देखने को मिल रहा है माने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आइटम महंगा हो गया तो बारिश से महंगा हो गया क्या लॉजिक दे रहे हैं आप भी कि माने सब्जी महंगी होगी बारिश से इलेक्ट्रिक आइटम महंगा हो गया बारिश से बिजली का बिल हो गया बारिश से
Gaurav you are on the back foot today because you can't Gaurav you are on the back foot today. You have to understand that when prices went down in the past, even because of COVID, you took credit for it. Yeah, the example, one minute, Anurag ji, ek minute. The example being given by Rajat, that during COVID, tomatoes were sold at 2 rupees per kilo. At 2 rupees per kilo, that was not because of you. I want Nilanjan to come into the debate. Can I get Nilanjan, please? Can the windows be corrected? Nilanjan.
Yeah, so basically, I work with the data and let me throw in some numbers and which is kind of known to many one of us. First of all, tomato is a short duration perishable crop, and you know that 83% of the farmers in India are small and marginal farmers, and these are the group of farmers who actually look into the price signal before deciding which type of crop to grow and when to grow. Now, if you see what has happened last November, the price of tomato was hovering around 20 rupees per kilo, and because of imperfection in the agricultural market, these poor farmers were actually getting between 2 to 3 rupees per kilo. Now, given that statement and given that signal that it is selling for only 2 to 3 rupees at what the small farmers are getting, it's quite natural on part of the small farmers to decide not to grow tomato, because as you know that tomato is again not in the MSP list because of standardization, because you see that crop like rice and wheat, they are on the MSP list because these are standard crop. But for tomato, because it's perishable and small farmers, they don't have access to the cold storage. Again, cold storage, 90% of the cold storage unit are used for potato farming. And most of it are actually in the northern states like UP, Haryana. And as you mentioned, in case of tomato, most of the tomato were grown in the state of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat.
I need to come Nilanjan, on the issue of accountability. And here's the political point. Bijon Mishra, is the state responsible for this or the centre?
Yes, in a way, the state is responsible
or the centre? PK and Bijon, what do you think? Who's responsible? Bijonda.
It is the state.
Yeah. It is the state. Why Bijonda? Why is the state responsible?
state? Who is responsible?
Why it is the state?
Because they are supposed to be ensuring
distribution of food grain.
They are supposed to ensure that the policies are implemented in a manner, the laws are implemented in a manner that they won't allow such kind of an rise in prices. They have not intervened. They have not kept a track about what's going on in the market.
Yeah,
they're sleeping.
So Siddharth is right. I also agree with him. I think states are responsible, Siddharth, because the state, Siddharth,
that whenever it is convenient.
Siddharth, who controls the state agricultural market boards? Who controls the state agricultural market boards?
It's a law.
Which has the ability to avoid middlemen by using government-run vegetable retail companies? Who controls them?
Exactly.
Yeah, very
there is
nice
hoarding
question.
going on.
Yeah, very nice question. The answer is very clear that Modi government, whenever it feels like, it makes agriculture a national subject and makes farm laws across India, and it says that agriculture is a national subject. And whenever the rates go up, they say it is a state subject. So basically, the Modi government is saying that I will have the cake and eat it too. How is it possible?
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. That's not. Vishwanta, 1 minute. Let me get Gaurav is back on the debate. Gaurav and PK are on the debate. Gaurav is pointing out to you. The question is who's responsible, center or state, on the recent increase in vegetable prices, especially tomatoes? Gaurav.
What logic is this? This is a twisted logic.
Well, it's absolutely correct logic for your kind information.
Let them not
because the state agricultural marketing boards have the ability to avoid middlemen by using state-run vegetable retail companies. You have not done that. You have no business blaming the center.
It is wrong.
So you're the one with twisted logic, not me. And Gaurav is responding to you. Gaurav. Gaurav is responding. Gaurav.
Yes. Arnab, in the debate, during the course of the debate, I told you that the center is maintaining buffer stock for onion up to 2.5 lakh metric tons, even for pulses, and the supply for tomatoes would be restored soon from Himachal, and we will see in the next 15 days how the tomato prices will come down. The point here is, I raised a question. I said the state governments under the constitution which I am holding right now are responsible to regulate the field of agriculture as well as the agriculture produce market.
So
what have they done? Not a single panelist
saying that this is a national law, and whenever it doesn't suit your purpose, you say that the tomato rates are to be blamed on the central on the state government. This is a totally twisted logic standing on its head doing
to make a point, please.
To act against hoarders and to ensure that buffer stocks are maintained.
Okay, Shelly Dang is calling in from Mumbai. I have to take a few callers. Shelly, how are you?
I'm fine, Arnab. Congratulations for bringing such a good debate.
Thank you.
We are really suffering. Common man is really suffering because of this. And what I really want to point out is, if it's a tomato conspiracy, that's what our hashtag is. The production, the transportation, and the distribution has to be really investigated in this matter. Instead of blaming each other, if opposition also has some solution, they should bring out the solutions rather than blaming each other. Because common man is suffering. We want the solution. We want the tomatoes, the price to be brought down immediately.
Totally, Shelly, I'm totally with you. Totally with you, Shelly. MVR Reddy from Bengaluru grows tomatoes. He's a tomato farmer. Yes, MVR. Mr. Reddy.
Yeah. Good evening, Arnab. Basically, input prices have gone up, Arnab. Actually, there's a new pest called Tuta absoluta. That is, it has come from South America, which actually affects the tomato to the tune of 90%. Actually, there's a chemical called exporters from BASF, which is costing almost 50,000 rupees a liter. So, actually, just to grow 1 acre of tomato, we are spending almost 2,50,000 rupees. So, actually, just to pick 1 kg of tomato, we have to spend almost 250 paise.
What is increasing the input price?
Yeah, basically, input cost has gone up tremendously, Arnab. That is pesticides and fungicides.
That must...
and even the labor cost also has gone up tremendously. See, we have to spend almost 2,50,000 rupees per acre to grow tomatoes. So behind which if we make some money, that is our money, or else we are going to lose. In fact, last year I have taken up tomatoes in 2 acres. I lost almost 1,50,000 rupees for 2 acres. So tomato, it's highly ticklish, and lot many viral problems are there. Almost we identified more than 17 types of virus in and around Hosu, Bangalore. Yeah. So it's not all that easy to grow tomatoes. That is in the summer months.
Yeah,
I
hear that. I hear that, Mr. Reddy. Thank you very much. Gaurav, you better watch out. This is going to become political. This is going to become political. Absolutely, it will become political. It's already. It's absolutely going to have consequences. What do you think, PK?
Pertinent point.
What do you think, PK?
But Arnab,
there is no doubt that my point? Absolutely there is
Arnab,
going to be political fallout from the rising prices, and the governments need to do something to increase the supply of key vegetables and fruits, without which there will be consequences. There is no doubt that this government has done quite well on controlling inflation, much better than the previous government.
It's losing its reputation if this continues.
There is also no doubt that yes, absolutely. I mean,
let me read out a few tweets. Let me read out a few tweets on how what people think about this. Pinky Verma says, it's hardly a month ago when my mom bought tomatoes at 60 rupees per kilo. What happened all of a sudden? Okay. Now there's someone who says, let's wake up. He says, rise of tomato prices is all ... It's an abuse. And restaurants are not using tomatoes does not affect the ordinary public. So let's not milk this issue politically, is what the person says. And Bhaskar Dasgupta says, seems to be a fundraising activity by both the central and state government. Makes no sense. We are watching this very, very carefully. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, Sagar Yadav says, great to have this kind of debate as well. Tomato is the fruit of common man of everyday use, and puts a meme of a tomato. On the other side tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from the tomato debate to the endless violence in Bengal, it is victory by violence, nothing else. So the shocking thing is, as the Panchayat election results are coming in, the violence continues and continues. In a few minutes, I'm back. आप कह रहे हैं शरद पवार डबल गेम खेलते हैं?
खेला है। पवार साहब हमारे साथ थोड़ी चुनकर आए थे, उन्होंने हमारा उपयोग किया, स्ट्रेटेजी की, और एक प्रकार से हम लोगों को मिसलीड करके वो निकल गए। डबल प्लेइंग जिसको कह सकते हैं।
ही गोष्ट खाइए, त्याच्यात त्यांनी अनेक गोष्टीची चर्चा केली, ही गोष्ट खरी आहे, पण त्यांनी स्वतःच सांगितलंय का की या संबंधीचं धोरण मी बदललं 2 दिवसांचे 2 दिवसांनी मी धोरण बदललं।
2019 सालं मी देवेंद्र फडणवीस सगळी चर्चा झाली, 5 बैठका झाल्या, आणि मला देवेंद्रला सांगितलं कुठं बोलायचं नाही. आता मला सांगा, नेत्यांनी सांगितल्यावर मी कसा कुठं बोलेन?
I have seen many things. I have made an assessment. I will state it at the right time, in the right manner. I came here for a simple purpose. As a student, I have heard Tamasoma Jyotirgamai. Somebody told me it's the same as there is light at the end of the tunnel. As a humble student, I wanted to ask my learned professors what it means.
We are in the Fatu Kotli area that falls in the Garkhal area of the Aknoor. The mighty Chenab that is flowing above the alert mark, and that is something that has caused a massive havoc in the area. This was a house with an entrance, but this has now totally been submerged in the water and the mud that has come inside this.
The situation in Himachal is extremely